Hi color kids, this is Katie Carty-Hiley. Welcome back to the Rainbow Land Museum and to another toy review. And I've got to say, I'm probably the most excited about this toy review than I have been for any toy review ever. And not just toy review, but just toy, period. Like any toy that I've ever wanted or purchased or dreamed of. Finally, we have the Moonglow shirt, Stormy! And I'm not going to show it to you yet, because first you need a history lesson to fully appreciate the wonder that is the Stormy doll and why I'm so very excited that it's here. Okay, I'm going to try to make this quick. You know I always say that and then 30 minutes later, but I really will try this time. So, quick history. Back in the 80s, we were teased with this Stormy dress-up doll. This is a catalog that I believe came in the box with the dress-up dolls that were released, which are Dress Up Rainbow Brite, Moonglow, and Tickled Pink. But instead of having a story in it, like the Color Kid dolls and the others, it just had this little advertisement, for lack of a better term. And within this, well, there's two things. We see Stormy, that was never produced. We also see these dress-up fashions that were never produced. So I guess those were just going to be clothing pieces that were going to be sold separately, but they never were. We also see Stormy pictured on the back of the Dress Up Rainbow Brite, well, probably Moonglow and Tickled Pink too. I only have a boxed Dress Up Rainbow Brite, but I'm pretty sure the box art is the same on all three. But yeah, on the back of those boxes is also a picture of that prototype Stormy. And then in the 1986 Mattel Toy Fair catalog, which I do not have a copy of. I wish I did. But anyway, she was also pictured in there. So, we know they intended to make Stormy. We know they prototyped her. We know they photographed her and advertised her, but then never actually went through with production of her. There's also another image that was released earlier this year on the official Rainbow Brite Facebook page. It was a British advertisement. I don't know if that's the right word. It was like almost like a catalog advertising for stores, like things that were coming that year. It wasn't like to the general public, I don't believe. But it said new for 86 and it had a picture of Stormy in it. Same one. So we know that she was supposed to come out in 1986 with the other dress-up dolls, but she didn't. We don't know why. We have confirmation of who designed the Moonglow doll. She posted a blog post about it. I think I talked about that in rainbowbrite.net Gazette episode 3, I want to say. So there's a link to that, and I'll probably just stick that link in the description of this video as well. So we at least know who designed that doll, but we have never known who designed Stormy. We also have never come across one of those prototypes that was pictured in these advertisements. Even though it's like the holy grail of Rainbow Brite collectors everywhere, that's one prototype that has eluded us all these years. Until last week! Okay, so this is crazy timing. A week ago, or a little over, I got an email from an 80s toy collector who ended up having a Stormy prototype but didn't realize it. Rainbow Brite is not her number one thing that she collects. It's not her number one fandom. It's not her favorite thing. But she's been getting into it a little bit more the last couple of years, and during her research, she realized that Moonglow and Stormy were the rare dolls, but then found out that Stormy never was actually made, but she recalled going to an estate sale back in 1999 in LA and coming across a doll that looked a lot like Stormy, so she got it out and took several pictures, sent them to me and to Galacticat, who has a bunch of Rainbow Brite prototypes, and we were able to confirm that 99.999% sure she has the one and only known prototype of Stormy. Her clothing is in a box somewhere. She didn't have that to take photographs of at the moment, but hopefully she will find that soon and we can see the clothes as well. But just going from the doll, the hand-painted eyes, no tag on the back, the way it's stuffed, there are other details, the yarn in the hair, etc. We were able to legitimize that, yeah, it's totally the Stormy prototype we've been looking for forever, because there was at least one made, possibly two. If you look really closely at the different images in the different catalogs, there were at least 2 outfits made, because on her stomach there's the cloud with the lightning bolt, and in one picture it's pointing more like at 1 o'clock, and then in another it's pointing at more like 2 o'clock. So I think there's at least 2 outfits that were made. Oh, and also on the boots, the lightning bolts on one doll are higher than on one of the others. So there were at least 2 sets of clothing, of outfits, but it could have only been on one doll. We don't know. But there might be 2 prototypes out there, or more. So anyway, we at least finally solved that mystery just very, very recently, like in the last week, confirmed that a Stormy prototype has been found and is like being kept by a collector. That makes me happy, because sometimes things like this get in the hands of a small child, or just get thrown away, or things happen, and then you never quite know what happened to them. So I'm glad that this is in the hands of someone who's going to take very good care of her. She wasn't looking to sell her, she was just trying to confirm and get a little more information, and share the information that she had about where she got it. So maybe one day we'll figure out who the person was that she got it from, and how that came to be. I don't know. It would be fascinating to find out. But anyway, that's why Stormy is so, like, revered in the fandom, as far as the dolls go anyway, as far as the collectors go. We've always wanted her because she was prototyped and photographed, but never produced. Even though everything else, except for one other doll, Newborn Star, I'll talk about her another time. She's not really important to this conversation. Those were the only 2 vintage 80s dolls from the Rainbow Brite line that were prototyped, photographed, and advertised, but not sold. And Stormy, we cared about. A Newborn Star, that was just a character that somebody made up. I don't know. But Stormy was actually in the movie. She was in the television episodes. So we cared about that character, and we've gone all these years without getting her. And we've had other opportunities that we thought, hey, maybe they'll use this line, this reboot, this whatever, to finally give us Stormy. In the 90s, they had the opportunity, they didn't take it. In 2003, they had the opportunity, they didn't take it. 2009, they had the opportunity, didn't take it. And then in 10, maybe 11, when Madame Alexander were making the rag dolls, even they had the opportunity. Yet again, nobody made Stormy. And, like, we, the fans, literally were emailing these toy companies, telling them the history, telling them why we wanted her, why we thought she would sell really well, and why they should produce her. Maybe their lines didn't last long enough to get that far. Maybe they didn't believe us. Whatever the reason, they didn't do it. So literally, 1986 is when she was supposed to come out. It is now 2016, 30 years later. She's finally here because Hallmark listens. Imagine that. Hallmark, who owns the brand and has from the beginning, listens to its fans. Thank you, Hallmark. You're amazing. So last year we got the big Rainbow Brite, Twink, and Starlight. This year well, you know about Sunriser. I've talked about her before. I'm going to show you Stormy in this video, but I'm going to wait and show you the third doll in another one, because this video I'm sure is going to be long enough in and of itself, because Stormy is just that important. She needed a video dedicated just to her. Yeah, what was I saying? Whatever. This year we're getting 3 more big dolls, is what I'm trying to say. And I understand why they didn't start with Stormy, because she's not as well known of a character as Rainbow Brite herself. But now that people have had a year to collect the Rainbow Brite, Twink, and Starlight dolls and get excited about them and get their kids excited about them, now when they see Stormy, who looks very similar to Rainbow Brite, but is clearly a different character, so there's differences, they'll be like, oh, there's Stormy! Yeah, a lot of them will probably recognize her right off the bat because she was so cool, for lack of a better term. She was in the movie. And a lot of people know Rainbow Brite because of Rainbow Brite and the Star Stealer. That was their only exposure to the animated series. A lot of people just did not see those 13 episodes that were on TV, or did not rent the VHS tapes at their local Blockbuster or whoever. So they only ever saw the movie. But they know Stormy because she had that really cool scene in the movie Well, more than one, but the one big one in the beginning, and then later on she's like helping. But anyway, she also has an important part in A Horse of a Different Color, that episode, and then she's featured as a smaller role in several other episodes as well. So lots of people know who Stormy is. So I think even people who don't know her doll history and why she's so important to the fandom, to Rainbow Brite doll collectors, to 80s doll collectors, even people who don't know about all of that, I think they're still going to be excited about her. They're going to think she's adorable, because she is. I think kids are going to love her. She's very bright, colorful. I'm excited to show this doll to you. Before I do, I just real quick want to show, well, maybe I can show her to you and then tell you what I wanted to tell you. Okay, let's do it that way. So here we go. Here's Stormy. Oh my god. Stormy. It is not stormy here. It's super bright sunshine on this beautiful day and this is, okay, cool too. Right around my birthday is when she comes out. That just makes me happy. My birthday's October 27th. So I'm super thrilled that she came out right around my birthday. It's like an extra happy birthday from the universe to me is for Stormy to finally come out. So, let me talk about this doll. So, her face mold is just like Rainbow Brite. She has awesome lightning bolt eyebrows here, which are great. Green eyes, and then the light lip color like Rainbow Brite has. Up here in her hair, she has a lightning bolt. It's like a thick felt material. She has her multicolored braid, as she should. She has this lovely kind of magenta colored hair, kind of fuchsia. I'd say more magenta because I've got fuchsia and that's more reddish. So yeah, if you've got a better word for that color, let me know. But I think magenta is probably about the closest. And it matches her outfit that goes, you know, her bodysuit, her arms, and then the strap that's on her boot here. Her hair is about the same length as Rainbow Brite's. If it's not exactly the same, it might be slightly shorter, but it's practically the same as Rainbow's. It's that super soft, thin yarn that I love so much. It just feels so good in your hand. She's got the bangs just like Rainbow. What else? Let's see. Okay, so the outfit, she has this really thick, and I guess it's felt, but it's super really thick. Let me see if you can see there. Yeah. That has this lightning bolt on it, and it looks like a cloud, as it should. But I was curious how they were going to do that if they ever made Stormy just with her dress, because it's so kind of multi-layered like this. You couldn't really print that on, I don't think. I don't know how that would have worked. So I'm kind of glad they made it an extra piece, and it's on there really good. It's actually, I'm not certain you can take this doll's dress off. I think you can if you pull the arms through and pull it down. It's not going to go over the head because there's no Velcro on the back like there is on Rainbow Brite. There's nothing to take the dress apart. So if anything, you're going to have to pull the arms through and just pull it down. But I didn't want to pull it that hard because I just got her and I don't want to ruin her already. So it's probably removable, but I just wanted to mention that. But I did at least pull it down enough so I could see behind there, and that is stitched onto her dress, this thick piece of felt. So I really don't think it's going to fall off. It's not just glued on, it's actually stitched to the dress. So I don't think that's going to be getting lost anytime soon. And that lightning bolt is just printed onto the felt. So that's, again, it's not a sticker on top of felt or something like that. So don't worry about it fading or disappearing, whatever. And then just like Rainbow, these details on her boots are printed on the fabric. So that's fantastic. And then she's got the beautiful, shiny, shimmery material on her dress that I love so much. And she is so cartoon accurate. So cartoon accurate. Like, I was pulling up screenshots earlier and just like comparing back and forth and was like, what? Okay. But this is the thing I wanted to mention, and I'm not complaining, like really Hallmark, I'm not. I get it. And you just gave me Stormy, so I would never, ever, ever say anything bad about this doll. I'm only pointing this out just to point it out because it's just a fact. The only part of her that is not screen accurate is her hair color. In the TV show, it is a very light lilac color, and Sky Dancers is the same. But the doll has magenta, like this. But the prototype from back in the 80s was not exactly cartoon accurate either. If you look at her hair, it's about the same color from this photo. Although, from the pictures I've seen of the prototype that doll collector recently found, her hair is actually a bit darker than that. Or it could just be her pictures. You know, lighting can make a color look very different, or different cameras in different settings, etc. So the prototype's hair was either like a darker maroonish color, or it was this color. But if you're going just by this picture that I'm holding up, so you can see it in the same light, that's practically the same color, or is the same color. So I totally get why they made it this color. And her dress, so the lightning bolt is different. On the prototype, it's purple, and on this doll, it's yellow. But this is the way I'm pretty certain it is in the show. I should have my screenshot in front of me, and I don't. I'm sorry. And then the lightning bolts on her shoes are purple in the prototype, and on these, it's yellow. But again, screen accurate. So I'm happier that they went with screen accuracy than prototype accuracy, although I feel like the hair color is kind of a throwback to the prototype of the 80s. So I totally get why they would choose this hair color, and it's just very bright. It's eye-catching. It goes with the rest of her outfit. I think kids are going to see this and just be like, ooh, what's that? Whereas if it were a really pale lilac, it might not make as big of an impression. We'll say that. But yeah, in the animated cartoon, in the artwork from the 80s, she did have that lilac colored hair. But I also wanted to point out that in the 2003 era, they changed that. So I've just got a few quick examples here. At the end of Rainbow Brite Saves Christmas, Stormy, magenta hair. Okay, then we got Rainbow Brite Adventures in Rainbow Land. Oops, sticker storybook. I just saw her. Where is she? There we go. Stormy, magenta hair. Like, that's even darker than magenta. That's super dark purple, actually, in that particular picture. And then World of Rainbow Brite Punch Out dolls. She's in here too. Again, magenta hair that matches her outfit. So this is not the first time she's had magenta hair. That really started out, I guess I would say, in the 2003 era and in the prototype. But I love this doll so much. Like, I'm not complaining about the hair color. I'm just pointing out that's the only thing that's different from keeping her being like 100% screen accurate to the animated series. So I think people are going to absolutely love this doll. People who collect Rainbow Brite already, people who don't. Maybe if they haven't started, they will now, because she's just amazing. And I don't know if I mentioned, the lightning bolt eyebrows were also in the artwork from the 80s and 2003. The prototype did not have that. But the artwork did, so that's completely accurate. I think even in the TV show, again, I don't have my screenshot in front of me, I'm sorry, but again, it's smaller. Oh, I wish I'd had that in front of me right now. I kind of want to look. I don't know if I'll be able to see it in that. Anyway, whether or not she had lightning bolt eyebrows in the show, she had it everywhere else, so I like that. I like that detail. It's really cute. It's different. Yeah, and her eyes look great. And it's another thing I wanted to mention. She has green eyes, which again, all of the artwork did, and in the show, pretty certain she did. But the prototype, the original prototype from the 80s, she had purple eyes. So it's really hard to see. You can only really see it in the 1986 Mattel Toy Fair catalog. If you've got a high-res scan of that or a copy of that magazine, that's really the only place you can even tell what color her eyes are. But she did have purple eyes on the original prototype, so that's the only other difference. But again, screen accuracy. Screen accuracy. Everything but the hair, and the hair makes total sense. So, I love her. She's fantastic. There she is, Stormy right there. She is $34.95, which I believe is $5 more than Rainbow Brite was. But she just has a lot more going on, so I totally support the price being a little bit higher. I would have paid even more for her, but that's just me. And she's so high quality, just like the other dolls that they've been producing over the last year. She's totally worth it, in my opinion. She was produced in August of this year, so I think that's all I really wanted to say about her. You should totally get her, if for no other reason to say, Hallmark, thank you so much for listening to the fans after all these years. I know we've been like talking your ear off and bugging you every opportunity we could, saying, we want Stormy, and you did it! Thank you so much! Like, I will never be able to thank you guys enough for finally making this dream come true, because so many of us have wanted Stormy for so long, and now all of us can own her. She's going to be coming to a store near you really soon if she's not there already. So keep an eye out, and I'll be doing another video to talk about the other dolls in a moment, or I might do it on a different day. I don't know yet. I'm still getting over the shock and the wonderfulness that is this doll. Oh yeah, I wanted to hold her up real quick to my custom Stormy that I showed you. Again, I think this was in the rainbowbrite.net Gazette number 3. So this looks a lot like the original prototype. The difference is her hair yarn is a bit thicker and it's longer, and her bow is a slightly darker green. But just to give you an idea, very, very similar. But this one is more accurate to the way she looks like in the cartoon, like the colored bands on her arm bands here, or shoulder pads, whatever you want to call those things. But yeah, it's like they paid homage to the old prototype while paying homage to the cartoon, while updating her ever so slightly for today's fans. I think that they put all of that together into one perfect doll. I would not mind maybe someday having a replica of the 12-inch that would just kind of seamlessly blend into our old collections, because those of us who don't have customs just don't have a 12-inch Stormy at all. And this is the big one. This is 16-inch, like Rainbow Brite. Which again, thrilled to have. Super not complaining. But if you guys ever in the future wanted to do specialized collector edition dolls or something, that might be something to consider. Would be a replica of the old prototype with the same head mold and the purple eyes, etc. But anyway, this is Stormy. I love her so. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a rainbow day. Bye.
Rainbow, I see shining light.